Guys, it's time for Breakthrough with Coach Lew. Coming to you live from Accelerate Life University, XLR8Life.com. Coach Lew will help you break through anything that's stopping you. Are you ready to get the motivation, the energy, the life, and all the success you really want and deserve? With no further ado, here's Coach Lew.
Morning and welcome to Breakthrough with Lew, Friday edition. Do you know when to say no? Do you honestly know when to say no? And you might go, no. Well, you just said no. So what are you telling me? You don't know when to say no, or you can't say no, or you just said no to me. You can't say no. Can you say no? And you say no. And then you say, well, that doesn't make a lot of sense, does it? How come you can say no to that, but you can't say no to the multiple things that are tearing your time out from under you, robbing you of the time that you deserve, robbing you of the time to do what is important? I think if there's any show that you really is the one that's going to hit home and the one that really might set the tone for turning it around for you, it's today. So drop what you're doing, pay attention. I mean, if you're driving, don't just let go of the wheel, pull over and take some notes, guys. This is integral stuff, because this is where the rubber really meets the road, and this is where the change happens. Okay, so the other day we spoke of last show. We talked about saying yes. Okay, in the things that you need to say yes to. If you don't say yes to things like self-care, like sleep, like rest, like being productive, you're in trouble. Okay, and when we do this, you gotta say yes to the things that recharge you and move the needle in life. That's what you got to say more of yes to. Remember we went through this? Do you remember how we talked about this? Do you remember the steps we went through? I'm going to review them real quick for you before we get started this morning on today's show. You have to fuel yourself first to be able to give, is the basic premise of what we talked about the other day. If you missed it, I'm going to outline it right here. You can go back and watch it later. How do you do this? Okay, you make sure you have a clear list of the things you do each week that actually serve you. What do you do? Hey, I exercise and then I feel better. I eat healthy, then I have more energy. I don't eat fatty, icky foods at lunch and I come back to work and I'm more productive. What serves you? If you haven't made that list, make it real quick while we're talking. It doesn't have to be perfect. Okay, then you schedule these things like you do the musts in your life. Okay, I must pick the kids up from school at 3. I must be to work at 9 in the morning. Hey, maybe once in a while you roll in at 9:02 because of traffic or something, but you don't show up at noon if you're supposed to be there at 9. Your job's not going to last long, right? But these other things, I really need to exercise, but you don't put it on your schedule like you do picking up the kids or showing up at work. It's not going to happen at the same level or at all. Okay, and then you create new ways to say yes to things that help you grow, recharge, and make you feel good. Say yes to going for a massage. Say yes to exercise. Say yes to intimacy and the good stuff in life that makes you feel good and pushes you forward. Okay, and we're going to cover in a minute how to say no to. This is an exciting day too. Say yes to others' requests that are only truly important and don't drain you. Okay, if somebody says, hey, will you help me with this project? Or, hey, you wanted to go to the beach on Sunday? Or, hey, you want to go to work out this afternoon? And it's something you're going, yeah, that's good. It's amazing. Let's do this. And if it's like, no, I really don't want to. Hey, let's go to, the mother-in-law's on Sunday. I really don't feel like doing that. Then don't do it. Okay? You don't do things out of obligation. That's where you burn yourself out. Those are the things that drain you. Okay, if I'm going to get together with family, I'm going to enjoy it. Okay, it's going to be the part of the family I enjoy. I'm not going to deal with, the people that drain you and are miserable. Why would you do that? Okay, so I got a little story for you. When I was a kid, I had a truck. Okay, as most of you know that, have been with me a while, I was on my own pretty young. So when I was 16, 17 years old, I had a pickup truck and had access to a box van. Well, what was the first thing that happens when you have a pickup truck or a box van or any kind of truck, and you live in a neighborhood where a good portion of your friends and neighbors don't even have cars, and a lot of times are relocating from one side of the street to the other, and that because they didn't pay their rent or whatever the case was. I didn't grow up in a super wealthy neighborhood, but whatever the case is, it was always, can you help me move? Can you help me move? Can you help me move? And I was like, I always wanted to help everybody, please everybody. I wanted to connect. I felt bad for people, and I was blessed. I had a vehicle, so I'd run myself absolutely ragged doing this stuff. So finally, I learned something. I would either just simply say no, and then get attitude for it. Like, my truck is, you paid for it. No, you did not. No, but seriously. Or I learned to charge enough where some of them would say no. Okay, I realized that my fuel, my vehicle, my insurance, everything costs money. And I was like, well, I don't mind jumping in doing something for free to help somebody in need. Don't take me wrong, but the constant taking advantage of that was going on. So like I said, I either learned to say no, not available in that time, sorry, or this is what it's going to cost you. And some people would say, hey, great, I really appreciate it. And it worked, two-way street. And other people would go, oh no, I'll find somebody to do it for free. Good for you. Again, if somebody's in an urgent situation, and we do it all the time in our community right now, in our big auction family, in our Coach Lew family, if somebody's down and in need, we give them a hand up. But when I was a kid with this truck situation, something had to give, right? So, pretty cool concept. If you need to say no to stuff, either you, especially in business, either you just simply say no, or you say, this is what I'm charging, so that it would be worth your while if you're going to do it, and let the customer or the friend or the family member say, oh no. That's an easy way to say no without actually saying no. So anyway, let's get into this today. All too often we say yes to too many things that don't move the needle of success in our lives. They don't lead to fulfillment or self-care, and eventually we end up with our needs coming in when? Last, or not at all. And remember, I said, if you don't fuel you, if you don't take care of you, you've got nothing to take care of anybody else. Now, this is by all means, I'm not trying to preach greediness or say, hey, it's all about me, all about me. But if you're burned out and you have nothing left to give, you can't do anything for the people you love, your community, anything else. You're not going to be able to do it if you absolutely are tapped out. So this is why you need to learn to say no to some things. I'm not saying say no to everything. I'm not saying every so often to break your rule and you go help your neighbor move because they're in a bad spot and they really need help, and you don't sit there and go, I'm going to charge them out of the game here because I don't feel like doing this. There's a time to step up, and then there's a time that you're not a doormat. Okay, it's about not being a doormat to life in general. Okay, not only your sister or your brother or your cousin or your friend or whoever's always kind of taking advantage, but just in overall, you need to direct to the yeses to the needle movers and the no to the time wasters and the drains in your life. Okay, so when we say no to things that don't serve us, number one, we save ourselves from resenting what we're doing that you should have said no to. Have you ever agreed to something? Oh, sure, I'll get involved in this. And then every minute of it was painstaking hell because you're going, why did I get involved? Why did I do this? I should have said no. But in the moment, you didn't say no, and now you're resenting. You're resenting the person you're helping. You're resenting the job. You're resenting yourself. You're resenting the fact that you agreed to volunteer for PTA and you really don't like this and it's really a waste of time and you're really stressed out because you got other things in life that move the needle. It's great if you got the time and if you desire to do PTA. I use that as an example. Now, it's not a bad thing. However, if you resent it and you don't want to be there and you're doing it out of obligation, geez, cut it out. Okay? Don't go and volunteer your time and then be angry that you did it. Just say no. Okay, number 2, give the recipient of the no a chance to grow and figure it out themselves. Huh? Think of your children. Will you give me money to go to this concert? No. What? Well, I want to go see Taylor or whoever. No, go earn it. You can go. I'll allow you to go. You got to pay for the ticket. Well, what you know, and then all of a sudden they go and they make their little lemonade stand or they do whatever, and they do it. What a chance for growth. Your no led to somebody else's growth. You didn't do it in a way where you said, absolutely not, you can't do this. No, I'm not going to just hand it out to you. Different story. Okay? And then as they near the end of, really putting themselves through the ringer to get something done, sometimes, especially with your kids, you're going to go, hey, you're $20 short. All right, you did good. Here you go. Ah! But look at how they grew in the process. Sometimes saying no leads to massive growth for somebody. And that is a great tool to be a great human being. You're actually doing more for them. You're not actually doing it for them. They've grown and become more, and you might have helped them along at the end or something. But that's a win-win no. Okay? And when you say no to things that don't serve you, you free up your time to do what is really important in life. And that doesn't mean go to the bar or sit around and munch on Cheetos and watch Jerry Springer. Okay, I borrowed that one from Tony Robbins. But seriously, what is truly important in life? Well, I said no to this extra hours at work so that I could be at my daughter's dance recital. I said no to helping the next door neighbor move, who always needs something, because I got to go to my son's baseball game, or I got to connect with this new business partner, or I got to go to church instead of going to work every single Sunday morning at 9 a.m. Okay? And, in this day and age, I got to say, business is 7 days a week. We just recently hired somebody to do Sundays. However, we start at 11 so that they have time, go to church or go to their worship or be with their family, whatever they want to do, so that it isn't taking something truly important out of their lives. That trade-off isn't, oh God, I got to work today. It's more like, oh cool, I still get to do the great stuff, and I get to come in and grow my income, grow my career all in the same day. Pretty darn cool. Hey, and I know there's going to be somebody out there that says, Lou, God said, 7th day is rest. What about the pastors, y'all? They're working. Church is open on Sunday, baby. Okay? I think it's time we talk about that one once in a while, that it's okay if you're a believer and such, that, if you open your business on Sunday, making accommodations for your God, your creator first, or whatever day you celebrate, and I'm not pushing anything on you guys, my faith, and I respect if yours is different, but what I want to do is go over this tool with you here of how to say no. Okay? All right, here's what you do. Step 1, you can write this stuff down, guys. Write down the key needle movers in your life. What are the things that really, really push your progress? You might say going to work because I need the income. Well, okay, great. And then you might say, well, hey, you know what? I have a little podcast too, and I really want to grow that. What's going to grow you? Exercising. That's a needle mover. Getting yourself fit, more energy. But write these things down. What are the key needle movers in your life? Okay. Then make a list of the things that hold you back from success, or the activities that you absolutely despise. What do you not like to do that is, to you annoying, time wasting? And I'm not saying just blow it off. I mean, nobody likes to do dishes, but after a while, our sink is full right now. It's been a crazy week. Nobody likes to do dishes, but what could you do? Could you hire somebody to do them? Some kid or something, the neighbor kid, and say, hey, I'll pay you $5-10 to do the dishes. I don't know, maybe. Or could you listen to a motivational podcast while you're doing dishes to make it better? What is it? What are the things that hold you back? And usually the things that hold you back are those things you commit to that you don't want to do. You don't want to. You should say no, and you say yes anyway because you feel obligated. Stop feeling obligated. Okay? You're not obligated to anything in this world except for what's important to you. You might say, well, I'm obligated. I got to take my kids to school. Well, are they not important to you? I think that's a pretty damn important thing, is your children, your family. But don't let things sap at you. The person in the office who's lazy and you keep getting their work thrown on top. No, say no. Okay? Overtime at work. Hey, if you need the money and your things are tight, put in some overtime. Hey, bring it on. It's great. But if overtime is going to cost you your health and possibly give you a heart attack at some point because you're working 95 hours a week in the high stress and nobody else is holding up their end, learn to say no. Okay? So make that list of what holds you back and what things you absolutely despise. They may not even hold you back. You just despise doing them. They are mentally not good for you. Okay? And then commit yourself to saying no to anything and everything that doesn't move you forward and is not good for you mentally and physically. That doesn't mean you say, well, I don't want to take a shower. That is good for you mentally and physically, but you know what I mean. There's things that are going on that you don't have to participate in. You don't have to spend your time on. Social media, be very careful. Don't sit there in the endless scroll, my friends. It is not good. You're angry. You're fighting with people online. What a waste of time. Now, if you're using social media for a tool, you're watching me on social media, then hey, it's a good thing. No, but seriously. Hey, I'm coming to social media to learn today. Nothing wrong with that. You hear me? Nothing wrong with that. Okay. If you're going to social media just to scroll through and you feel bad because everybody's got better looking hips, butt, and smiles and better hair, and they have the look out over the ocean and they're making millions of dollars in their jet plane and it makes you feel like crap, that's when you need to get away from it and focus more on what could get you to what the things that you want to do. Okay. Now, number 4, learn the phrase, I would love to help you, but I know you got this. You don't really need me. Hey, can you volunteer at PTA this week? Can you volunteer at the baseball game? Can you do this? Can you do that? Hey, you know what? I would love to help you, but I can't this week. But you know what? I know you got this. You don't really need me because you got this, man, girl, chick, dude. You got this. Yeah. How can they argue with you? You don't really need me. You got this. You're the best. It's an easy way to say no, and they go, yeah, you know what, you're right. And it's a win-win because you've just boosted somebody's confidence and you don't have to do the thing you don't want to do. Number 5, the best way to say no is to offer an alternative to you or delegate the things that have to get done but are not needle movers in your life or the things you have a passion for. See, you can easily, okay, hey, boss, we need to get this video out. And if you don't like doing video, who does in your organization? We just hired that new kid and she's really a video whiz. Hey, maybe she'll take over running the preview videos and stuff. She can design some of this stuff. She loves doing that. And don't get me wrong, I'm using it as an example. I love designing and stuff like that. So I'm the artist entrepreneur in what we do. But what if there's tasks I don't love? Okay. I don't love unloading trucks anymore, so it's like, you know what, I'd rather pay somebody to do that and not do it. If it absolutely comes down to it and it has to be done, sometimes you step up. This is not total concrete, guys. Once in a while, you gotta have some flexibility. But what I'm trying to get through to you, saying no is way easier than you think, especially when you offer an alternative or a solution. I won't be there to help with the PTA meeting or the snack stand at the game this weekend because you're like, you know what, I really don't want to sit in the hot field all weekend and I got this other project or I want some downtime with my spouse. Instead of going to the game, the kids are going to ride with the neighbors this time and no, we're not working the snack bar. Oh, but you know what? Sally Sue said she would love to do the snack bar with you. You have a solution and you've said no, but coupled with a solution. You see, this is what keeps people from getting PO'd at you, is giving a solution, an alternative, boost their confidence by going, you don't need me, you got this. You don't need me to do this. You're on, man. You're the man or the gal for the job. Okay? So, let's think of an example of how you could do this. Hey, we got an event on Friday night. We need an auctioneer, and it's like, well, I have my auction, so I can't go. I'm not going to cancel my sale to go do a free event for somebody. And I don't do free events anyway, unless it's for a church. But the thing would be is, hey, I know this other auctioneer who's getting started, or a younger guy who would want to do that. Let me connect you with him. Something like that. And again, same thing with, we need volunteers for the snack bar at the game this weekend again. And you're the person that seems to get volunteered, every week. Hey, you know what? Let's give somebody else an opportunity and experience that joy. What a cool concept. So being able to say no is one thing. But you don't want to come around like a total hard butt and be no. Nope, I'm not going to be able to do that. However, so and so can. Nope, you got this. Or I can't, but I'll tell you who could. Or you know what? There's even a way to automate this so that we don't have to continue to do it manually. Give solutions, folks, and you will totally get around that ability to say no, because no is empowering, no is freeing. And I'm not saying be a jerk. I'm not saying don't get involved in charity events, or don't get involved in your kids' school or church events or anything like that, but just don't get involved with the stuff that does not serve you. Excuse me. Wow. Better have a little sip of my Life Boost coffee. It's allergy season here in Florida, so yeah, you can tell. All right, so that concludes it. Now, do you think you've got the steps to say no? Do you think you've got the steps, some tools to be able to say no when appropriate? I'm not saying no to be lazy. I'm not saying, I just don't want to do anything. I'm just saying say no to the things that don't serve you. Say yes to the things that really serve you and move your progress and move the needle in your life and the people around you. You want to give, but you got to take care of you before you can give. That's what I'm going to leave you with today. So live with faith, energy, passion. Always live your dreams. Till the next roundabout, which will be in just a minute. This is Coach Lew.
Ready to take it to the next level? Tune in to XLR8Life.com for our live shows, encore presentations, life-changing courses, and live coaching with Coach Lew himself. As Coach Lew always says, live with faith, energy, love, passion, and always live your dreams.